My comedy boo, Cheri Hardman. Right. Cheri, I love your beautiful smile.
Well, the thing that everybody doesn't know is that we are often naked together in the mornings.
That's true.
Via selfie. Andy and I take our ugly selfies in the morning and send them to each other very often. So this is nothing new to us.
Except for you have makeup on, and
I have makeup
hair's
on.
done, and I have my glasses on. So
there. So.
Oh, wow. Well, Cheri, have I got the genitals for you?
If you've got an itch, Andy Vargo will scratch it.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Scrutiny with Cheri and Andy. I'm Andy Vargo, and this is my good friend and comedy love,
Cheri Hardman.
And we are here to discuss all things in life with our own special twist of scrutiny. How are you?
Yeah,
babe?
I'm good. How are you?
I am excellent.
Yeah. We just watched a movie.
We did. It was a good movie. It was a short movie.
It was a short movie.
Film, but it was good.
Mm-hmm.
And there was somebody present who's a big star in that show.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was in a mockumentary, and it was made available online today. So you can order it online, watch it. If you don't want to go see it in person in Seattle, because not everybody has the time or whatever. And it's kind of like it's on a sliding scale, so you can kind of just pay, $5 on up, however much you want to pay for it. So
that's awesome. And
yeah.
So how did you get involved in this movie? And first of all, the movie, the name is This Is Spinal Injury.
Yes. And there's a guy, there's Dan Hurwitz and Kayla Brown, which I met them doing a show called The Disabled List. It's all comedians with disabilities. And then he got a grant to make a film, and so he did. And so it was a lot of fun making it. And, of course, it was during the lockdown, basically. So we did it over Zoom, but we pulled it off. And then he was able to use some footage from, a show we had in person. And so I would just say, I'll put the links up on my Facebook page. I'll be probably annoying with it, but be sure and stay for the credits at the end.
Yeah, those are awesome to watch. And the credits, there was some fun stuff there. Mm-hmm. So the whole show, it had some fun banter. And the thing that I got out of the show was that it really made you think about things that you might not encounter if you're not in that position in life. And just kind of going through what has to be thought about to put a show on in general is enough, but then to add in making sure that it is accessible and covers all the bases, which shouldn't have to take as much thought as it does, right? That should be something that is already there. And so it's a really good glimpse into what people are having to face.
Yeah. So that was fun. So tomorrow tomorrow's the film festival.
Okay.
So Dave and Andrew and I are going to go up to Seattle and be a part of that. And so that's going to be fun.
Ooh, do you have your red carpet outfit as a star?
I have not even thought about it. So,
oh my gosh.
We'll see.
You just be ready for the paparazzi.
Yeah. I'm sure I'm just going to be inundated with attention. So that was fun. So I just wanted us to watch that together. Maybe I shouldn't say that out loud, that we watched it together.
It was a good show.
Yeah.
That we
simultaneously
watched.
Since we're talking, I'll go ahead and tell what else I got going on, and then
Yeah, that's what I was just wondering.
Okay, so Saturday night I'm doing a show, but there's really no point in promoting it because it's been sold out for a long time. But I'm excited about it. It's with Bo Bless, so I know it's going to be fun. And Monday I have a dentist appointment. So
Oh, that's exciting. You can't tell jokes when you have something in your mouth. I know from speaking from
and you've got something big coming up.
I do. This Tuesday, September 21st at the Tacoma Comedy Club. It's the final night, the final round. It's the big face-off for the Comedy Voice in Tacoma. So made it through to round 8. I don't remember how many comedians they started out with, like 50 or 60. And
Did you say round 8?
maybe I did. It's the final round, the top 8 comedians. Sorry, they started with 50 or 60. And this is round 4. So every week they've eliminated different people. And the last time there were 12, the audience voted it down to 8. And you get to pick, if you're in the crowd that night, you get to pick who wins. So you get to come up. The comedians are going to do a 7-minute set, all 8 of us. The audience will vote on the top 3. And then the top 3 have to come right back out and do another 5-minute set. And the audience will vote again on who wins. So I'm hoping to get a lot of you there because it's audience vote and I could use the support. So
yes, I'm gonna unofficially and impartially say you should come support Andy.
I appreciate it. And because Cheri is as the past winner, the reigning champion, is also an honorary, kind of took over one of the coach and judge spots. But fortunately, since you were past the judge voting, you don't have to have as much.
Yeah, I can't contribute, and so I can't vote. So, you know, I need someone to come take my spot and vote for Andy.
Right. I know. It's like that's the problem when you have friends that do great things, and all of a sudden it's like, well, now she can't vote for me. But it's all good.
It is all good. Anything else going on other than that?
Not other. No. Just
Yeah,
nothing.
I got a light week next week, but then the following week we have a show at Odd Otter.
Yes, that's gonna be fun.
We're calling it We're Taking Over.
And it's all women.
Yeah, and here's the deal. Like, let's just talk this out because I've been really trying to figure out how to promote it. I'm trying to do every other show at Odd Otter be all women or women and I don't know, assorted, not straight white men. Okay, let's just put it that way. I don't know how to say it. Yeah. So, but you know, because we're all women, like I want to celebrate that, but you know, can't we all just be comedians? Do we have to be women comedians? So I don't know how to, like, you know, a lot of times we just don't want to be called women or this show is all women. It's just, no, we're all comedians. But I want to also celebrate that we're women and that we're powerful and that we're all kind of banding together. In fact, we're all going to dress a certain way that night in unity.
Wow. Well, you know, it's interesting that you mentioned that because I think that sometimes one of the biggest problems we create is we use too many adjectives. Like we use adjectives to describe things that we don't need to add into the description. And that's a good example of saying, you don't need to say a woman comedian. It's just a comedian. And it shouldn't matter other than when you are celebrating the fact that it's a show that happens to have all women on it. That's one thing. But a lot of times we have to add someone's, you know, badge of honor for the diversity. And instead of it being a celebration, it now becomes a, well, is that really celebrating them, or is it more bringing them down by saying, well, you're this before you're that?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right. So I don't know really like how, like I thought of like a couple things I wanted to say, like, you know, put a little advertisement and say, you know, we're taking it. I just don't know how to promote it. I just, anyway, I should put the, keep talking. I'm going to put the flyer up.
I have an example of that. So in one of my books, which I have one of the proof copies of, so it's got a little mark over it, but in One Drive Stands, it was all about my time as a rideshare driver.
Uh-huh.
There's a story in there. It's a really sad story, actually, of I came upon this accident where an officer was killed in the line of duty, and I was driving with people in the car. But one of the things that we witnessed was an officer running up to give someone CPR, like, because we stumbled right upon this wreck.
Uh-huh.
And when I was telling that story originally, I would mention that it was a female officer that was coming up to give someone CPR, and I didn't like that I was saying that. Like, I was naturally saying that. It's like, well, if it was I wouldn't say a male officer. Like, it wasn't natural for me to say that. And so when I wrote the book, I was very careful to not use that descriptor until later. I said she did something. Like, it was like, I wanted people purposely to possibly get the image in their head wrong and be surprised because they made that assumption. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was working through that in my own head, it really made me aware of how often am I adding an adjective to something to describe somebody that isn't necessary, like, especially if it doesn't matter. And then I want people to kind of have that moment of shock when they say, oh, I didn't picture this person being, from a different heritage, or I didn't picture them being a certain sex, or I didn't picture them being whatever it is, when that comes out later in the story, and then have them realize, well, that's on them for making that assumption of what they pictured in their head.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, but I agree with what you're saying too. At the same time, when you're doing something like this, you do want to celebrate that it's all women.
Right. So
Check
we're
out
taking
that.
over comedy night, the 27th. We have Tara Christian Wiedner, Rachel Afjay, and our headliner, Monica Nevi. I'm really excited about that.
Me too.
It'll be a lot of fun.
The last time I saw Monica, and actually every time I've seen her, she's made me laugh, but the last time specifically, it was recent, and I could not stop laughing. Oh my gosh, she is hilarious. And Tara and Rachel, this is going to be a great show. I can't wait.
Now, do you remember when Monica did the Triad Theater?
Very, very clearly.
And there was some story about Dairy Queen.
Yes, there was. Do you
remember that?
Yes. Monica made a comment in her bit about someone just lighting themselves on fire. She said something about how, what's going to happen here? Someone's going to light themselves on fire. And in the audience, someone said that did happen. And she just made up the most random thing she could think of. And then it turned out to be that was something so bizarre and weird that had happened in that town. And she was like, oh my God, how could that even be a thing? It was.
But what did Dairy Queen have to do with it?
Someone lit themselves on fire in front of the Dairy Queen or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Like on accident or something. I don't remember what he.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I'll never forget that. I mean, I don't remember it exactly, but
yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
good. I know
that's.
Yeah, I won't ever forget that either, because I just remember it was that perfect mix of, just riffing some random thing out of your head and then being like, wait, that actually happened here. So
Cool.
Anyway, yeah.
All right, so there's that.
Fun show.
That kind of gets us all updated on what we got going on.
Yeah, and we got a couple topics to talk about today.
We do. I want to talk about slang.
All right. And I want to talk about people's different ideas of success, how different people measure it differently.
All right. And then I think next time we do the show, we're going to have a game.
We are going to have a game.
So we were going to maybe have a game today, but I couldn't find my notebook where I wrote all the game ideas down. So I will prepare something for next week. And then you do not want to miss our October show.
No, it'll be is it the last October show?
October 28th.
The 28th of October.
Yeah, don't want to miss Scrutiny that day.
Halloween.
It's a special Halloween edition.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Okay. So the reason I wanted to talk about slang a little bit was, well, first of all, I work at a high school. So I hear slang all the time and always having to decipher it. And a lot of times, like by the time I learn a word, figure out what it is and how to use it, it's old. But I've watched language evolve over the years. Like,
oh my God, I'm sorry. I just thought about something I have to tell you.
What?
You just have to make a joke out of that. Like, it's like your vagina. By the time you learned how to use it, figured it out, knew what it was, it's old.
That's really good.
Sorry, this is how we communicate, people. I'm just like, wait, no. Sorry. I should have written that down for later.
We stop everything for a joke. Like, oh, I got a joke. I just
Right.
wrote it. We got to write it. Because for one thing, you got to write it down before it's lost
Oh my
forever.
God, I've lost so many good jokes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. too
Okay,
bad.
so anyway,
Okay.
back to your slang.
Yeah. So, like I remember when it was like bad was good and fat was good,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like,
Yeah.
oh yeah. So, and then the one that really, and here's the thing, people that are older tend to get irritated by it. Like, why are they changing all the words? And like, that irritates me. But the one that really bugged me was when they would call someone ratchet. Like that, like if something was like say what they would have called ghetto before that, but that's not a proper
Oh,
word
like,
now.
gotcha.
Like,
Like,
oh,
kind of,
she's so ratchet, like she's kind of like a Walmart hoe, maybe something like that. She's ratchet, you know? And
yeah,
I would always think that they were really just trying to say wretched,
yeah.
but they misheard it that
I've
it
never
was
even
ratchet.
heard that. I've never heard that.
Yeah, I knew you wouldn't know most of these. And like now, like a thought,
Uh-huh.
you know, THOT, you know what a thought is?
No.
Kind of like I don't know what it stands for exactly, but it's kind of like a hoe, you know, like a fuck boy or a slut or whatever is a
Okay.
thought.
A thought.
I don't know, so I'll maybe look up what
Not
it's
like an Einstein smart person. Like he's a
No,
thought.
it's not a thought. It's not. And let's see. Someone said, okay, well, we got a bunch of these. So someone said,
And these were from Cheri asked people on social media, some slang.
uh, eat shit and didn't know that meant falling down really hard. Well, okay.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Like you saw someone eat shit. Yeah.
Netflix and chill. It took me months to know that Netflix and chill meant more than Netflix and chill.
Yeah,
I
that
know
was
one
one
time I
did.
said to kids I was going to Netflix and chill with myself, and they just like lost it.
Yeah, I didn't know that one for a while either.
And then bukkake.
Well, that's not necessarily a slang, is it?
Well, yeah.
Just a thing.
I know someone go. And then Blumpkin, which we just heard today, and so I looked it up, and
I had never heard that one either.
I'd never heard it either. The eggplant emoji, like some people didn't know what that.
Oh, yeah, that was interesting too, because like I used to be on social media and people would have a lot of like water droplet emojis, and I just thought they liked swimming. Like I was like, I didn't know that they were representing something else.
Oh, here's the deal. I'm sorry, but fucking emojis. If you're over 12 years old and you're using emojis, go fuck yourself, really.
Emojis
Anyway.
are fun, Cheri.
No, they're not. They're not fun at all. They're stupid.
I'm gonna start sending you emojis all the time. I'm gonna start speaking. I'm gonna like write half a sentence and put an emoji in. They always confuse me because I'll see something like someone will write something and I look at the emoji and I read it like I see it. Like it'll say someone says like it'll say like, you know, oh that's, you know, and then flame, but really they mean like lit or hot. And
Okay, so like lit,
flame.
there's another one right there. Okay, no, wait, here's the thing. I don't understand, because one of the reasons I don't like emojis is because I'm fucking old and I can't see what they are.
Well, that's,
and I
have that
know
problem
your
too.
eyes are worse than mine, so how can you see them?
I can't see a lot of them.
Oh yeah, you get your magnifying glass out.
Or I take a screenshot and then I take a screenshot of the conversation and then I blow it up until I can see.
Okay, I got something funny to say.
Okay.
All right, I'm doing an act out now. Don't laugh fake at me. Like if you need this to look at the you're too old to be using emojis. There, thank you, thank you.
I like how you took a bow to the whole audience.
I am now a prop comic. Just call me Carrot Top. Okay, turned it off. That's hilarious. Anyway.
You crack yourself
Crack
up.
myself up. That's all that matters to me.
Oh my God. That's
All right. Camel toe. Thought everybody
Um,
knew what a camel toe was.
that's a backpack that you put the water in.
Okay. What about a moose knuckle?
I've heard of, isn't that the same thing, but on a guy?
Yeah. Rose budding. I don't know this one. Do you?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, Lord. I'm afraid to look it up.
It's a sleigh from Citizen Kane. So it must be like, it must have to do with going down a hill in the snow on a sleigh. Rose budding.
Ew.
Oh no, I don't want to know.
Okay.
We'll look that up later.
Yeah, we're not going to even say that one out loud. That's hilarious.
I suppose
Okay.
it's not like a mole poking the cotton.
No love lost.
Okay, so
Somebody just used it incorrectly. Okay, go
Okay.
ahead. What?
so I wrote down a couple. I heard this one the other day, which I had never heard, and this actually happened. And someone said, "Do you want to hear some tea, or do you want the tea?" I didn't even know what that meant. I've never heard this before. Apparently, that's like the gossip,
Yeah.
and I don't get, where does the tea come from?
Spill the tea, like telling a secret.
Oh, spill the tea.
Uh-huh.
I don't. Okay, interesting.
That's
Okay,
yeah.
so I never
well,
heard
then
that.
there's also like Kiki, Kiki.
No.
That's like when you're sitting around with like your girls and you're all like gossiping or whatever. That's basically what that is.
Okay, so I had never heard that, and then someone said it, and then seriously the next day someone else said, "Well, do you want the tea?" And I was just like, okay, now I know what this means. So I was excited to actually get the tea.
Right. Well,
Like,
that
wow.
and isn't that weird that it kind of to me shows how the universe works in mysterious ways that once you hear something,
Yeah,
and you
start
usually hear it again right after that when you've like, I've never heard of that.
Well,
'Cause
and the
that's
thing is,
not a new one.
and both of these people were under like 20, 25, one of them might be a little bit older, like maybe 28.
Mm-hmm.
But I swear they're both around like 25. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. But I'm around a lot of younger and older people. So I should have a range of vocabulary, but I just don't. Excuse me. I need to look up this word that you won't tell me.
Oh, yeah. We don't want to say that on air.
Okay.
The other one, someone said to me today that they didn't know what it meant was gassing.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So,
You mentioned it before the show, but I had never heard that.
yeah, I was gassing all my way home today. Let me tell you. I ate too many weird ethnic foods in the last few days, and they did not mix well in my gut. Oh, yeah.
Oh God, that is just
I know.
not
It sounds very painful.
okay. Oh, God, I'm glad there wasn't a picture. Anyway,
Can you see us live? Is anybody commenting?
I didn't
that
see any
we need to-
comments yet, but I've been checking.
Okay.
So, okay, so yeah, I think I wrote down the T, dank, kicks. I didn't know what, so kicks I just thought meant shoes, but apparently means like specific kind of shoes.
The what?
When someone refers to your kicks, like you got nice kicks, apparently that's like a specific kind of shoes that usually match your outfit.
Oh.
It's not just, oh, hey, nice kicks.
Oh.
And not like
tossed salad and scrambled eggs. Now notice most people, that's interesting that most people I know are all doing dirty ones.
Right, I know, like I was thinking
Like
more
sexual terms. That's
Yeah.
not where I had anticipated this was gonna go. Bae.
Right. Like
Bae. I think bae is ending though.
oh, like bae meaning like your sweetheart or your love
Yeah.
or your boo. Yeah.
Someone said cutting out the middleman means something totally different in my country, but I don't know what country and what that means. So please share and let us know.
Yeah, I'd be curious about that. Excuse me.
You okay?
Yes, yes, I am. So the other one that this still gets me, and I accidentally said it on stage at the show last night. I don't know if you caught it, but we've stopped calling flip-flops thongs. and I don't know if you heard me refer to a flip like a
No.
thong. I said, you know, it's
You
like
said
if someone,
flip flop. Oh,
when I was talking about a strap-on sandal, I said, you know, it's like a
Right.
thong with straps on it, like. But I
oh,
still like when I was a kid. That's what my mom always called them. You know, go get your
right,
thong.
right.
And my kids are always mortified when I say I'm wearing thongs. And anyway,
I know, but it's kind of not fair that a generation can just come in, like, make up your own words, sure, but why do you got to change our words? And then all of
Yeah.
a sudden it's wrong when we say it the way we've always said it.
and all you do is call it the sound it makes, like a flip flop. I mean, seriously, that's what we're calling it.
Really, like, have some imagination and ingenuity.
And also,
Word
I'm gay.
stealers.
So also, I'm gay, so flip flop means something different.
That's true too. Yeah. Means he can't get an erection. It just flip flops.
No, that is not. You're on it today.
I'm a movie star now, you know.
Right. Yes, you're a comedian. You can say whatever. You're a celebrity. You can.
I'm a celebrity. I can go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I deserve to go to the bathroom. That's what it is. I don't think Jesse Warren knows what he started with that phrase that he said to me.
I know you have to. We even used that last night. Like, you're a celebrity. You can walk in here however you want. All right.
Without a mask, I forgot. So we're at 428. Anyway, so I was kind of reading about this because people sometimes get mad, and then the what is it, the Oxford Dictionary or the Webster's or whatever it is, will actually add these words to the American language, and people get miffed about it.
Yeah.
But you know, language. I was reading an article about this, and language is fluid or not static. I like it. Just it doesn't always stay the same, and it reflects the culture and the times. So it just happens. It's something that we have to kind of get used to.
Yeah. I do think it's interesting when people are mortified that a word is added to the dictionary, and yet if you think about things that never, like, would you not add the word website to a dictionary? Like, that's acceptable. That's nothing that was needed before 20, 30 years ago, whenever. Or internet. Like, there are things that are available or different because of technology, because the world changes. And just as much as things change in advancement, other things change in the way we we speak. We don't go around using words like thouest and, you know, all the
right.
So things need to replace that, and that's okay.
I got to tell you something cute that a student said today that I thought was funny. He came in, he likes to hang out with me. I don't know why, because I guess I'm cool or something. Yeah, and so he likes to come in, like he'll come in between classes and check with me or try to let me stay there or, you know, whatever, let him stay there. Well, he was going to be late to class, and so he asked me to walk him. And he said, yeah, then it looks like I've been in here the whole time because you walk with me, you're my hall pass. And then he called me he goes, you're my cheat code. And I thought that was cute.
Oh my God, that's funny.
I'm his cheat code. So,
right.
And then we open the door, the teacher looks at me and I wave and she's like, oh, okay. Like that means he's excused or just because
I can be late because he was nice.
I guess I should out myself like that. But
did you feel a little used after that? Like that little
No, it's like he could have picked anyone to be his cheat code and he picked me.
Aww.
So anyway, work's going okay. So that was good. But anyway, so I try to keep up on the slang because I work at a high school, because every now and then I throw out a word and then they're shocked that I know what it means. Or it also just helps because sometimes they think I don't know what they're talking about and I actually do.
Right. Yeah. You can be like incognito.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
I hope they don't start talking about rose budding. Then it's just, that's going to be it.
You're going to be like, you guys cannot be talking about this. And then they're really going to be like, oh no, Miss Cheri knew what that was. Oh, that's bad.
All right.
That's bad.
I got to remember to sit like this so that I don't have a double chin. All right. Are you ready for the next topic?
I am, but I don't know if I can stay like this the whole time.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, so now I'm distracted. So I had chosen for my topic today to talk about different levels of success, how different people view success differently. And it's something that I kind of beat myself up in a lot about, as I'm growing my business, at what point will I feel successful in it? I have other people who I'll get messages like, hey, way to go on this success or that success. And because I haven't seen a certain level of monetary success, I don't feel like I am at where I want to be yet. And it doesn't mean that I'm not having any success. It doesn't mean things aren't going the right direction. But someone had made a comment about someone else not too long ago where it was like, oh, well, I don't think they're where they want to be. And I think, it's that someone had made the comment that it was, well, I think that they're as successful as they want, in their business. And I think that sometimes we forget that everyone measures it differently. And so for some people, success is making enough money to have a comfortable life and not necessarily be rich and famous. And other people's level of success might not even be tied to money. It could just be that they have a family and that their family stays close together and that they're home on the weekends with their family. And that's what their successful life looks like. Other people, their level of success might be how much fun they're having and the fact that they're, going to different events and things. And
Right.
so I think it's just an interesting thing to think about. And I guess I'm curious how you measure your success and what is it that makes you feel like, what is it that would make you feel like you're in a good place? And I guess I'd want other people to share that too. Like, what is it that you measure it by? And I have a second question to that too. I guess I'd put it out there now, is that when we look at, there's the ultimate success. Well, what's the alternative successful outcome of a situation where, like I signed a contract with a group recently, and my ultimate picture of success with that is that I'm getting a lot of clients through that group. But my alternate success from that is that if I don't get any clients from it, the successes were that I secured a contract, that I created a base in my negotiations that I can use and take other places. And I have all these lessons that I learned from going through that process. So there's all these other successes, even if I don't get that prize that I want. But
Right. I know I think about this a lot because like with comedy, and I think I've shared this before, is that I've heard a lot of famous comedians talking about success and saying that their most fun times, or that they look most fondly on, is when they were back doing open mics and scrambling for jobs. And so I have to remember that I have so much more to go before, when would I feel like I've done enough? Or is that the nature of comedy, that you never feel that way unless you've done every TV show there is to do and played Madison Square Garden? Okay, like if I played Madison Square Garden and every top TV talk show or whatever there will be, is that finally the pinnacle of success? Well, you got to enjoy the little successes along the way, So that's what I think about a lot. And then I think maybe it needs to be more of like, just like for me to make myself feel successful, to see where I've come from and where I've grown to, like I started out just as an open mic person, and now, I've featured in 3 comedy clubs, and then move my way up to like, well, now I'm headlining in comedy clubs, or now,
Yeah, I saw a quote today, and I've seen it several times. I've heard this quote, but sometimes you see things when you need to see them. And it was that idea of, don't compare yourself to anyone else, compare yourself only to who you were yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really the best we can do is say, like you said, I used to be here and now I'm here.
Mm-hmm. I know for me, I like feeling like this is maybe just laziness. I like it when people reach out and book me and I don't have to go chasing jobs. It's like, I feel like I'm doing well when I have bookings on my books, especially ones that I didn't have to chase.
Have to beg for. Yeah. And, I will say, when I watched that, I watched years ago, it was before she passed away. I watched the documentary with Joan Rivers when it was showing her day in her life.
Mhm.
She was still chasing bookings, and she seemed like the most successful person you could think of, but she was still working, filling calendars. And
Right.
and one of the things I was thinking of when you were talking about all, you know, Madison Square Gardens, these huge venues that you could play, I think one of the mistakes that we make with success is we put arbitrary rules on what we define our success by. And what I mean by that is sometimes there are things where we don't see ourselves successful unless we XYZ, whatever it is that we
Right.
play. And so you could have done Madison Square Gardens, you could have done, you know, late night television shows, you could have done all the big things, but if you were determining whether or not you hit it big was based on if you were on the Oprah show or on whatever it is, and then that one thing doesn't happen,
Then yeah, you
just
feel
beat
like a
yourself up.
failure. There's no point. Yeah, it's like it's not like this at all, but it made me think of Schindler's List.
Mm.
You know, when he saved so many people, and then the one thing that he says is, "Oh, I could have done more." You know, it's like people that are just never. I mean, his was for a good cause, but just
Right.
never being
That's-
satisfied or proud of what you've already done. You know.
yeah, and you discount all the good that you do, and you discount all the success you've had because in your mind it isn't the one thing that you're focused on. And I think we do that in relationships too, and there's a lot of ways in life we do that where we don't appreciate things that are in our life because we get caught up in, well, what about this or that, and then that
Maybe I should start counting just how many people I make laugh.
would be amazing.
I brought laughter, but then I'd have to count audience members, and I don't know that.
Yeah. You know, I had an interesting thing the other day. I was sitting next to a guy at the bar, and just that I know, and I had gotten out of my Toastmasters meeting, and so I had it was last week because it was Thursday. I went from Scrutiny to Toastmasters, and that's always kind of like just go for like
Now, is
4 hours.
Toastmasters every week?
It's every other. It's twice a
Oh,
month on
all right.
Thursday, and so. But it was one of those where I had to leave right away because I hadn't eaten, so I had to do that. So I didn't look at my phone from 4 o'clock until 9 o'clock at night, or 10. Actually, it was like 10 or 10:30 by this time. And I'm sitting next to him, and I said, "Oh, I just have to reply to a couple messages. I'm not trying to ignore you, but I've been tied up for 4 hours, so I have just a bunch of different messages I need to reply to because there was a few different things going on." And he just looked at me and said, "I only text with like 2 people a week," and I just and after that comment, and granted that's probably one extreme and the other, because I think most people probably do more texting than that. But it made me think about looking at my text, sort of how many people had I texted that day, and I started to think about how many people had I interacted with in the last 24 hours, and it was a lot of people, which is what I want and enjoy, but then I forget to give myself credit for that. And I think when you said that about just kind of counting how many people you are making laugh, I think there's times where we're touching a lot of lives and we don't even realize how many people we are.
Right.
I think that's good.
Oh, I had something really good I was going to say.
Sorry, and I rambled on.
I didn't write it down.
Was it about how many people you're going to make laugh, or the?
Oh no, it was about success. It's like I'm thinking of, like, I love doing this show with you. I really do, and I really I don't want to say I struggle, but like, it takes me a while to like edit and upload, and I always feel like I'm behind, and I feel like I'm not doing it. I'm not giving it my best, and part of it is I feel like, is anybody ever gonna fucking send us an email?
Oh, yeah, you're stuck on that one
ever
thing.
Gonna care enough to just like comment or send a message, or just like, come on, people. But it's like, I know it takes a while to get things going, and I don't really, we really kind of yet haven't. We're starting to figure out like our format, but this has all kind of been experimental up to this point.
Yeah, we're still like getting in our groove, and also there are people who are a bit shy about commenting and things like that too. There's some of that, And
Right.
just because people aren't always commenting on the live, the majority of the listens come later. And if people are
Right.
listening on a podcast
sure.
or things like that, then
Well,
they're
we
not.
have it on so many, like, and so this is really what I wanted to say is like, I might as well do this little plug right here. You can watch us on YouTube. And if you do, like, subscribe, send bring that little notification bell so that you know when we got a new episode, and
Right.
comment, or, we're on Facebook. I put this on 3 different Facebook pages.
Yeah.
So if you see it on like the Scrutiny with Cheri and Andy, but like, be sure to like and follow us, and that helps us out. If you listen on the podcast, and like share with your friends, just, my friends, Cheri and Andy have a fun little show. And I mean, we're not doing spectacular, stupendous things, but we are having fun, and we're putting out some good energy, and we really do want to hear from other people. And I mean, we've got plans of things that we could and can and will do in the future,
Which are awesome and exciting.
Yeah.
And amazing.
But it would be a lot more fun if there was a little bit more. I mean, we're almost up to 2,000 views and listens total.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, so that means 2,000 times somebody, spent some time with us. So that's good. So, I mean, we're growing. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it would be just so much better, and I would feel so much more successful if we got a little interaction. So even if you want to complain and say, you guys suck, you want to send an anonymous message that I could read and I won't say your name, anything like that. God, it would just make me feel so happy to know that you guys are out there and you're listening and paying attention to us. So,
and that's one thing that's interesting with these types of platforms is it can feel like you're talking to the wall a lot, and it's hard to know where it's received because it's not a conversation. You're not standing in a room full of people, and so you don't hear the laughter. And yet someone's sitting in their chair right now laughing or going, oh, I should send them a note or whatever. Because people are out there. But it is funny because I've had days, how it is in entertainment. And not that I'm at the starstruck level yet, but I have had times where it's like, I just don't feel like being in the public eye today. And you have to kind of be like, okay, you know what, you got to put the face on and you got to be out there and be okay with knowing that it's your job to inspire, entertain, whatever it is. And but it is nice when you hear something.
It is. Oh, we have a comment.
Oh, look at that. Cheri's like, oh, we got a comment now. Right.
My friend Jody said that I was, what was the word? Anyway, I was great Saturday night or something. Saturday.
Awesome.
Oh, I didn't even talk about that. I kind of wanted to talk about that.
Oh, let's hear about it. We got some time.
I'm trying to turn the volume off.
Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday I did that show in Linwood up at with Jimmy Shin doing the shindig.
Nice.
But that was so weird. Like I'm sitting in my car practicing my set. I see this guy behind me backing up, and I'm like, oh shit, he's not gonna stop. Because I got my cart on the back of my car, so I stick out a little bit. So like, I mean, I had time to lay on my horn, and he still kept going. But then he wasn't going to get out of the car, and so then the people in the parking lot are yelling at him like, "You just hit that lady!" And he like sticks his head out the window. Oh, did I? Are you okay? The guy's like, "Get out of your car and go check on her." So it was kind of funny to have someone stick up for me like that. But anyway, all was well. I made $100. The guy came over, the passenger came over and gave me $100. I think it was a please don't call insurance or police, here's $100.
Yeah.
And I think my car so far seems fine. So, but that show was really fun. But boy, I have not done a rowdy bar show like that in a long time. Like
it's
a rowdy
environment. Yeah.
A rowdy bar show. So that was good practice because I just assumed that I was going to get up there and talk and they were all going to listen. And it wasn't quite that easy. But
Yeah.
that's good, every now and then to just get those reps in, like
Mhm. Yeah, it's kind of like it's like exercising your muscles where you develop a certain skill or you're in a certain environment and then you're not in it for a while, and it's kind of good to go back into it sometimes, like, oh yeah, I still got it, or
yeah.
oh yeah, this could happen
Or
again
I
someday.
don't, but yeah, it was fun. And Jimmy Shin could not have been nicer to me.
That's so cool.
And it ended up that the bar had an event before that they had charged for. So they took that money and to pay us all more. So I
Nice.
went into the job thinking I was making $50 and I made $160 instead. So
Even
I
better.
came out of that place with $260.
Nice.
Except for what I had to pay for the bill, But yeah.
It's always good when you
So
make more money than you think.
yeah, so that was fun. It was great. All right. So success, well, we're
So
all
success, I guess my message there is, don't let other people define your definition of success, and be open to not getting too caught up on what you think you needed to define it as. So be open to, looking
find
for
the
where you
little
already have it.
successes on the way.
Yeah. And like you're saying, like all the fun you're having doing through all the growth and with the community, and like that is the fun part of it, like you were saying. And so we have to be able to appreciate it right now, because when we're hitting it big, it's going to be hard to like hang out with everybody without the crowds getting in the way.
I know, everybody wanting your autograph. Oh my gosh.
It's exhausting, I tell
Oh, yeah.
you. But we do it for the fans.
Yeah.
And if you
I
want
love
our
when-
autographs, Cheri and I will take a picture together and autograph it and mail it to you if you send us an email to Scrutiny with Cheri and Andy at gmail.com. Were you like opening something up there?
Well, I was thinking maybe we could do some tasteful nudes.
That would
Like
be
one
awesome.
of our
We'll do it.
shirtless pictures.
Okay, if enough people, we need to set a number. If enough people autograph or email us, we will
No,
do.
if we get enough views on this.
Okay, when we get to 100,000 views, we'll do a tasteful nude photo shoot, and that can be our autograph pictures we
We'll
send
do it
out.
at the selfie museum, won't they be
Right,
surprised?
we'll be like, I thought clothes were optional. It's like, you can't be nude in there, people.
That's
Like,
funny.
only take a second. Can you hold the camera?
Yeah. All right, before we go, I want to show everybody my new bra.
Oh,
It's
I
really
like
cute. But look how crooked it is. Is that me or the bra?
that. That's a good question. I don't know.
Probably me.
Yeah, how it's not even.
Yeah.
I actually, I'm not wearing a bra today. I went braless. I figured,
Just let those titties swing in the breeze.
yeah, they're tripping. I'm tripping on them.
All right. Well, it's been lovely as always. It's
Yes, it
4:49. I guess we're good. All right. Yeah. So I will put the link. I want people to, order this movie and watch it. It's cute.
Yes.
And there you get like all the ones that are in the film festival.
Oh, wow.
So you can. I haven't watched the other ones yet, but I kind of want to wait till tomorrow when I actually go.
Yeah, and you're
But they're
supporting
short
local artists.
films. They're short films. They're all like half an hour or less. So
Yeah, that's nice.
yeah. So
And you're able to-
support, because it's like it's the art. It's art. Support art, because there are people that are working really hard for art and not making very much money. So
And the thing too to remember is that people like to support stuff and do, and like, you comment on a Facebook post or something, but this is something someone took a lot of time and energy and put a lot of thought into putting together. So that's where they would love to have your support.
maybe that's going to be my topic next week, is support.
Okay. Wear a good bra.
I was going to say that. God damn it. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for jumping in.